Hi, boys and girls. Well, yesterday in our science class, we started talking about how scientists observe the world around them. Remember, we talked about what the word observe means? We found out that it means that we learn about the world around us using our five senses. So sometimes observing can mean we see something with our eyes, but it can also be what we smell, taste, hear, and touch, can it? So there's many ways to take in information from all around us. Well, today I'm going to kind of go through the book we were working on called What Do Scientists Do? I'm going to give you some reminders in case you didn't get to work on the book yesterday so that you can add those parts today. And then for some of the parts that we didn't get to do yesterday, I'm going to show you some things today so you can fill that in. Now, even if you don't have this book with you, you can still listen to this video and learn some science today because as part of going through this book, I'm going to share some more of these books with you. Remember, we read one the other day. We read the one that was about tasting, right? That's one of my favorite senses. I think I like all of the senses, but we're going to share a little bit more about that. So even if you don't have your kit at home, you can still learn some things from this video. All right, well, as most things, we can start by putting our name on the front cover so that we'll know who it belongs to. So yesterday when we were talking about tasting, we cut apart some of the pictures that we found on the very, very back of the booklet. So if you're just getting your booklet now, you can tear the very last page off. And it's going to look like this. There's going to be some little cards that have words on them that tell us what our five senses are. And there's going to be some little pictures. Some of them look like this, and the other ones look like the ones I already glued in my book. Because we found out, and you can read this part right along with me, that scientists use their tongue to taste the world around them. Remember, we learned about the taste buds that send the message to your brain, and then your brain decides if you think something tastes good or bad. And remember, there were 4 types of tastes that we have. We have a salty taste, like a pretzel. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and glue the picture of the pretzel on there so you'll remember about the word salty. There's things that say taste sweet, like these yummy jelly beans that Logan told us about. There's a sour taste like lemons or maybe Sour Patch Kids. Those really yummy. And there's that bitter taste, the one we said usually it's a grown-up taste, but some kids might like a bitter taste. It's usually from the back of your tongue, and it's something like coffee or dark chocolate. I like that taste. All right. Oh, you learned something else about taste? Okay, what else did you? Go ahead and tell us about it, Brooklyn. Which word? Okay, I'm going to look in our glossary. Oh, yeah. We learned that our brain is an important part of figuring out what our 5 senses are learning. Yeah, our brain has to give us those messages. Thanks, Brooklyn. Very good. All right, well, the second page we use to talk about how scientists use their nose. And remember, some of you got the flower out of your science kit. You didn't get to do that yesterday. Go ahead, take it out now. The science kit is either the plastic bag, or for the girls, it's the rainbow bag. You can take that out and give it a little sniff. Do you smell a good smell on there? Yeah, it's not a real flower. We just put some perfume on it. Yeah, but we can know that a flower smells good. Remington read the word popcorn to us, and he even showed us what it looks like to taste some popcorn. You're right, your sense of smell helps you with taste. That's very true. Okay, and we talk about the smell of perfume. Cinnamon. It's kind of a fun but hard word to say. Okay, and also look at the coffee up there. You can smell coffee, can't you? You know, maybe some of your parents drink coffee. If they do, you know what would be fun? You'd have to ask them. But they might let you put a little bit of glue on here and then sprinkle a few coffee grounds on there. And then if you give it a little smell, you can smell the coffee. Yeah, that would be fun. All right, well, let's do a little bit of reading about our sense of smell. Oh, I can't decide which one should we do. This one is called Smelling Things, and this one's called Smelling. They're by two different authors. Yeah, so this one called Smelling is by Sharon Gordon. Let me give you a quick peek. Okay, whoops, that was way too quick of a peek, huh? You see a little bit of what's in there? Right, and this one is called Smelling Things by Alan Fowler. They look similar. Which one do you think we should read? Well, Tasting was by Sharon Gordon. Maybe we should read the one by Alan Fowler. What? You are so silly, Nicholas. You think we should read it because of the skunk on it? All right, let's read this one. Smelling Things. Let's say your eyes are closed and a friend holds a bar of soap close to your nose. So you couldn't see the bar of soap. Or someone holds a handful of newly cut grass. Could you tell which is which? Sure you could. How do you know? Your nose tells you. Try it. I know, I wish we had fresh cut grass right now. Maybe you're thinking about the smell of after the lawnmower goes over the grass. Yeah, then you can really smell that. When I was a little girl, my one friend Allison and I used to have a game we would play. And she would, of course, we always had to let, her mom had to let us do it. But she would put some spices in little paper cups. And then she wouldn't let me look. She would blindfold me. And she would put them by my nose. And I'd have to try and guess what we were smelling. You know, with your parents' permission, you could do something like that. But be careful, because if your dad's in on it, you don't know. He might put his stinky feet by your nose. I know, that would not be fun to guess. You are using your sense of smell. You have 5 senses. Others are seeing. Yeah, we know about that. Hearing. Feeling. That's the same as touch. And tasting. Smell and taste often go together. Just talked about that, didn't we? The chicken smells good while it's roasting, so you know it will taste good. Did you ever walk past a bakery and smell something so good that you just had to go inside? You were smelling the delicious aromas of bread and pastries fresh from the oven. Wish we were doing that right now. A bouquet of flowers can smell as fresh as it looks. I'm doing those flowers. These pages are a little bit hard to separate, aren't they? Sometimes you can tell where you are by what your nose tells you. There's a fresh, clean smell in a forest of pine trees. True? And a salty smell near the ocean. Have you ever been fortunate enough to be by the ocean? You know, Ethan has just recently, didn't you, Ethan? Yeah. Sniff the fresh air after a rain shower. Oh, I love that. My daughter Naomi has a perfume called After the Rain. How do you like the smell of blue cheese? It's not my favorite. How do you like the smell of popcorn? That's right up my alley. Yeah, Remington, we know you like it too. Oh, a lot of you like it? That's good. A dog has a very keen sense of smell. It can tell its owner's smell apart from anyone else's. Right? A dog's sense of smell can help people find their way when they get lost. Your sense of smell can help you keep out of trouble. I wonder how that is. Uh-oh. It warns you if there's a skunk around or if something's burning. Yeah, if you think you smell something burning, you should check it out. Happened in my house this weekend. Yeah, nothing big, thankfully. But I was cooking my first turkey ever. And my daughter walked by the oven and she said, Mom, is something burning? And I thought, I just put it in the oven. It's not burning. But guess what? I went over and I looked, and the turkey bag was touching the coils inside of the oven. So it was a great warning for us. I was able to fix it before there was any trouble. So if you ever smell burning, you don't want to ignore that smell. You want to take care of it. Even if you don't see what's out there, your nose knows. Oh, they were being funny. They were doing what we call a play on words. This word nose, whoops, let's get it right there, is the nose you smell with. This word with the silent K means you know about something. So they said your nose knows. That was kind of funny. All right, well, now we know more about the sense of smell. Oh, let's talk a little bit about the sense of touch. That's on this page right here. You can use this little slip to find what we touch with. See our hands? You can throw that word right in here. And then it will say scientists use their hands to touch the world around them. And we found out you can use more than just your hands, right? That all of your skin is an organ that tells about how things feel. When you lay your head on your pillow at night, how does that feel? It feels soft. That's right. When your mom or your dad wrap their arms around you and give you a tight squeeze, you feel that, don't you? It feels very comforting. That's part of your sense of touch, too. Okay. All right. Now, if we look up here, this describes how something can feel. This is rough. You're right, Lillian. We put the sandpaper up there from our kit. If you didn't do that, get it out now. And glue a little bit of sandpaper up there. How about soft? We talked about a feather could be soft. A piece of material can be soft. You're right. Some material, like real wool, can feel a little scratchy. Oh, spongy. What does that mean? Like a sponge? Yep. Kind of. There's air inside the sponge, so it kind of goes up and down and has some bouncing feeling to it. And slimy. That's right. Oh, yeah. No, don't put any of your slime on there. Just draw a picture of it, okay? Yeah. All right. Well, let's hear a little bit more about our sense of touch. This book is called Touching, and it's by Sharon Gordon again. Here we go. Touch the water. Does it feel cool? It might. Let's find out. The sense of touch is one of the 5 senses. The others are seeing, hearing, smelling, and tasting. You're right. That's very true. Aubrielle, you're right. You can use your faucet and turn the handle, and sometimes you can make it feel warmer or cooler. That's right. Yeah. Sometimes it can be hot, so you have to be very careful. Do you know my mom's rule when I used to take a bath at home when I was a little girl? It's a good rule for you, too. I was never allowed to turn the hot water on first. Even though I was excited to take a hot bath, she said, always turn the cold on first. That way, if the hot water comes out super hot right away, you won't be burned. The cold water will cool it down. Yeah, that's a great rule. Nobody likes to get hot water on them. It's too hot. You feel things with your skin. Skin covers almost all of your body. You can feel things from your head to your, you guessed it, toes. Oh, that looks like fun. Nerve endings in your skin tell your brain what you are touching. Hey, there's that brain again. Yeah, it's like the command center. It tells us what's going on. This says a nerve ending seen through a microscope. So that's what it looks like. Have you ever heard anyone say, you're getting on my nerves? Our nerves send messages about something, how something feels, right? That is how you feel things. Oh, that little boy's, what is he feeling? He's feeling a pineapple. Some places on your body have more nerve endings than others. Your sense of touch is strong in these areas, such as the bottoms of your feet. Are you ticklish? Oh, some of you are laughing when I just said the word ticklish. Yeah, some of you might be very ticklish. Some of you might not be. But if you are really ticklish, don't tell your brother and sister, because then they're sure to try that out. Uh-oh. Your skin tells you about the things that touch your body. It tells you when something hurts. Ouch, be careful. Hey, nobody really likes to feel a boo-boo, do you? I don't like boo-boos at all. But do you know that our boo-boos have a way of protecting us too? Yeah, they do. For example, if you feel something ouchy, say you're chewing some gum and you bite your tongue, it tells you stop. Don't bite down anymore because your tongue is in the way. If you kept pressing down with your teeth, you could damage your tongue. But when you feel that little ouch, it tells you to stop. Mm-hmm. Another thing I did the other day, I went to get a pan and I forgot to use a pot holder. And guess what happened? Right away, ouch! I did not like how it felt at all. But it saved my hand from getting damaged because if I would have kept holding on to the handle because I didn't feel anything, it would have damaged my skin. Pretty amazing the way our bodies were designed, isn't it? Try to make a snowball. Your hands tell you the snow is cold. Put on some mittens first. The sense of touch helps you know when your shoes are too small. Again, it keeps you from damaging your feet. It tells you when you have a scratch. You can itch it and make it feel better. You can feel many things with your skin. You can feel the shape of an object. You can tell if something is round or square just by touching it. You can tell if something is hard or soft. Some things are sharp to touch, such as the point of a pencil. Some things are smooth, such as a marble. Close your eyes and guess what you are touching right now. Oh, if you're this little girl, she's touching something soft and furry. Logan, see, are you touching something soft and furry? Is your little kitten making a visit? That's good. What, Lillian? Jade wants to snuggle? I'm glad. Did you ever touch something sticky? Pop! Uh-oh. That looks like it's going to be a mess. And here's all kinds of words we can use when we're talking about the sense of touch. All right, well, there's a lot we could say about that, but we're going to move on because we have more senses to talk about. We're going to talk about our sense of hearing next. You can use this slip right here to know that scientists use their ears to hear the world around them. All right, let's find out. This next part's going to be fun. For this one, we're going to play a little game. We're going to play a guessing game. I'm going to play a sound for you, and you're going to try to draw a picture of the sound that I'm making, and we'll see if you guessed it correctly. Are you ready? All right, excuse me. Here we go. Hopefully I had this loud enough. Oh, you know what? It looks like it did. It went, oh, here it comes back. Let's get a little louder. Oh. What sound did you hear? Are you ready to see? I'm going to move my screen over here and you can see the picture. Write down a picture of it so you don't change your guess. All right, let's see. That was a bowling ball making a strike. The sound of knocking the pins down. Oh. It's kind of silly. Write down your guess for number 2. What do you think that is? Draw a quick picture. Right on your book. Oh, you were right. It is a toilet flushing. Good thing it works. We need those. What did you hear? An owl hooting. Very calming sound. Oh. This is a toughie. Let's see. Oh, it was a pen clicking. Did you get that one? I don't know if anyone would get that. Well, boys and girls, we did 4 sound guessing games, but guess what? You can go on and on with these. If mom or dad say that you can go on YouTube and put in sound guessing games, there's all kinds of games like this you can do. Always check with your grown-up. Uh-oh, that sounded like trouble. It was a smashing plate. Well, we better get back to our work so we won't get too distracted. Okay, so boys and girls, There we go. There is one more thing we're going to look at here. Let's get our book back out. We're going to talk about, yeah, we peeked at this yesterday, using our eyes to see the world around us. So you can write eyes in here. Yes, in your little science kit, you found some shiny reflector tape, didn't you? You could stick that on there. We also said you could put a little piece of the tin foil on it. Oh yeah, and we said you could cut a little corner off of your wax paper because that's dull. If it's dull, it doesn't reflect as much light, so it doesn't glimmer or anything like that. You can make a colorful rainbow. Oh, you did colorful paint splattering? That was a fun idea. Did any of you get out one of your highlighters and do some bright marks right there? Those are all words that can describe how something looks. Well, boys and girls, we also know that scientists use their mind to ask questions about the things they see, smell, hear, and taste. Questions like, who? Questions like, what? What could that be? When? Where? Why? And how? You could draw a little picture of something that reminds you of that. Like, you could draw, well, for who? It would be fun to draw a little owl, right? Or you could draw people because it tells who did something. When? I would draw a clock right there because that tells about time when something happened. One of the favorite questions that scientists like to ask is why? Why did this happen like this? How can I explain it? You're right. Kids are super scientists because they ask why a lot. No wonder you guys are doing that. You're trying to learn about the world around you. That's going to make you smart when you ask lots of questions. All right, boys and girls, if you didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, go ahead and draw some things that you think scientists can discover to help change our world. Yesterday, we talked about how they had devices to clean up. Today, what about something like an irrigation system? Do you know what that is? It moves water to places that need water so you can grow more crops. Yep, that's another discovery. Cars, yep, and different types of cars. Those are great discoveries. Sticky notes. I'm glad somebody invented sticky notes. They make my life easier. All right, well, boys and girls, today we did some talking about how scientists use their 5 senses to discover the world around them. And you can do that too. Yeah, I know you do that every day. Good. Keep up the good work with that and keep asking questions.